Let's get ready to rumble. It's the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. I'm Moshe Kasher.
I'm Natasha Leggero.
Natasha, do you want to break the bad news?
I am barely holding it together. I can't do 2 podcasts a week.
Right. We're going to drop down to once a week again, but we reserve the right to come back up to 2.
If I can deal, I know people like it, that we're checking in a lot.
I like it, but Natasha stood firm. No, I'm kidding. It's a lot because we're getting a little bit busier with other work.
But we really appreciate all of your emails and your secrets and your calls and your comments, and people are adding each other. Make sure to join our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on the IG.
Follow us on our YouTube channel, please.
Yeah.
You can see a lot of interaction happening on the YouTube
channel. You can also get on the podcast. You can email us. It's endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com. You can call us and leave a secret. It's 213-222-8608.
And thank you for all of your compliments and all of your, I really feel happy that people are liking our podcast and listening to it, because I feel very impotent right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's an assignment. Now that we're dropping down and you have one space in your podcast queue, and things are interesting and intense with race in this country, find a podcast. Find a black-made podcast, maybe one that's about Black history, or maybe one that's about race, and educate yourself. Or just find another comedy podcast, but you'll never find another one like ours. Let's get started.
My daughter told me I was dressed like a naughty pig tonight.
I guess you got the webcam feed from last night. You have been a bit of a naughty pig around the house lately.
Yeah, we've been getting into fights.
We have been spatting a bit. As the world burns, so too does our relationship.
It's just a very it's like, how can you not be in a fight with everyone right now?
What do we fight about today?
Oh, our daughter almost tipped over a thing of water, and Moshe got on his knees. He's like, "I'm begging you.
I did not get on my knees.
Cover the tops of the water of the containers." Like, that's a thing I always do, is not cover a top of a container.
Every time you retell one of these stories, you add a false detail to make it much more dramatic. I did not get on my knees. I was like, "Can you please cover the top?"
No, you said, "I'm begging you."
I haven't gotten.
And also, I didn't realize you said begging.
What are you supposed to say?
Begging.
Begging?
Yeah.
Instead of begging?
Yeah.
They sound so similar to me.
Okay, I'm just saying I didn't
begging?
realize that. Yeah, you say
well,
begging.
Fuck you. You say crayon instead of crayon. Crayon is what you say when you're combining cranberry with another kind of juice. You don't say Crayola crayon. Say the top of a house.
Roof. That's
not how you say it. Say it the way you really say it.
Roof?
Roof. So don't get on me on begging.
Okay, well, anyway, see, you're diverting. This must be like a tactic.
It's not a tactic. You lied about me getting on my knees.
I just remember a pleading,
Oh, you thought I pumped my fist to the heavens?
There was some physical action that matched the plea.
The physical action was me stopping myself from screaming in rage. So I did a calming Zen. No, I said, "I'm begging you," and you got unbelievably upset because of the word begging.
No, because of the implication that I do that all the time, and that's now you're finally at your breaking point with telling me to put the top on the water.
But
whereas someone said, maybe it was someone called in, or I read it somewhere where they said, the secret to a marriage is what you don't say. And I feel like I don't.
You know what's funny
say...
though? What's funny about that quote?
What
is you said that quote to me? I'm pretty sure when you read that quote, you're not supposed to say it to the person.
That's true.
The secret to a marriage,
I'm using it as a thing to say.
The secret to a marriage is what you don't say, and so I'm gonna say that to you to make sure you know you're not.
Okay, that's a fair point. But
boom.
But what I was trying to say is that you do so many things way more than me that are annoying around the house in terms of spillage and throwing things and not putting things away.
Well,
that you would just finally be at your breaking point with me because our daughter knocked over water.
Since we're gonna discuss that. I realized this week, since this is a roast session, I realized this week that you have what I would call a pathological aversion to putting perishables in the refrigerator after you use them. And I would say that the more spoily it is, so raw chicken, that's going to stay out. Milk, let's let that bad boy curdle. Orange juice, ferment that. If it's rice, though, if it's uncooked rice, toss it in the icebox.
Wait.
Let's save it, Ma.
Also, this week I've given you spoiled orange juice
Yes.
and a rotten egg scramble with like old meat in it that didn't taste good.
Things are falling apart in the house. Things are falling apart in the country. Although I will say this about what's happening in the country right now. Obviously, it was a very scary few days, a very emotional, tumultuous, and terrifying few days. But we're now about a week in, and things aren't. I wouldn't say they're certainly not peaceful. They're certainly not better. But they're
You say day 10 of the protests.
Is that right? Day 10?
11 or something.
Well, it does seem like some progress is being made. The officers in Minneapolis all got charged. The Los Angeles has, which is admittedly a pittance of the budget, but Los Angeles has agreed to $150 million dollar diversion of the police budget into communities, community programs, specifically in the communities of color. And listen, the budget for LA's police department is $3.8 million. There's a chart online, actually. You can see the budget of Los Angeles. And Health and Human Services, Parks and Rec, emergency response. It's like everything is you can barely see the bar, and then the police budget bar is so fucking big. It's like it almost seems like left-wing propaganda, but it's the real budget. So $150 million is not that much, but it's definitely progress. And so to everybody that's wondering, or if you have family members that are wondering why they keep going, what are these people's goals? The goals are manifold, and they've begun to slowly get their goals met. I don't think the end of this protest is going to be an equitable dismantling of the police department in every city in this country, but we're certainly moving in a direction. We're talking about defunding police departments. What does that mean? That's obviously a very scary idea.
People can listen to another podcast for the details.
Okay, fine. You're right. That's fine.
Can I say something?
Yes, of course.
Were you done?
Well, I was going to say one thing. So these are all really big, sort of seismic conversations that, yeah, you're right. We're a comedy podcast. We can't really speak to them with the eloquence that they deserve. But one thing you can do is just start doing research. Like if somebody says defund the police department, you're like, that sounds fucking stupid. We need the cops. We'll read what it really means. Does it really mean no more police? It actually doesn't mean that. So just read what it means. There was an interesting article in The Guardian this week about what the phrase defund the police actually means. So take a look. Or look into your local government. Is there a police reform candidate that is running on that platform? Elections are coming up in a lot of different places. Look that up. And there's like action to be taken and education to be had. And finally, if you're feeling a little powerless and you're like, fuck you, I'm not reading, I don't listen to podcasts for homework, motherfucker. Let's get back to you talking about spoiled orange juice. I'll just quickly say, I'm going to give a link. I'll just quickly give a link. There is a if you have a little bit of extra money, which very few of us do right now, but if you have a little bit of extra money and you're kind of powerless and not sure what to do, there's a really cool, Act Blue has a really cool kind of catch-all of like 10 different organizations that you can donate to. Black Lives Matter Global Network, Reclaim the Block, National Bailout, Black Visions Collective, NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund, the Police Accountability Project, Color of Change Education Fund, Unicorn Riot, Campaign Zero Advancement Project, and the Marshall Project. If you go look that up, just look up Act Blue, orgs fighting against racism and police brutality. You can give a donation just on that link, and it will disperse those funds to every organization I just met. And if one of those organizations has a platform that you don't agree with, it's very easy to just delete that particular organization and it'll disperse it among the rest. So if you're feeling powerless and like, what can I do? That's something small that you can do.
Well, I've been thinking about the police a lot, and I just always thought, oh, police are assholes.
Right.
Like I never really thought about it that much. And I was talking to some friends, and I've really been trying to like process all of this. And I was talking to a friend, I was like, the Black Lives Matter is so organized. Like how are the racists organizing? Like how are the white supremacists organizing? And he was like, oh, they organize by joining the police force. And I know that's like, that's not proven to be true, but just even thinking about that, I was like, oh, if I was a white supremacist, of course I would join the police. Like I'm not saying every police is that in any way, but it just made me start thinking like, wow, that's
No,
it's scary out
it's
there.
true that it is true, and I think it's not. I don't think it's crackpot conspiracy theory to say. Of course, the vast majority of police officers are not white supremacists.
But
But
if you
but
were
if
one
you're
and wanted to
if
do some damage,
but every major police department in this country probably has been infiltrated by some people that have racist views,
and then they try to
bring those.
convert their coworkers.
Yeah. At any
And
rate, here's what I've learned about. I don't mean to cut you off on that. Did you want to say more?
well, I just think it'd be great to get more people of color as police officers.
Well, that's not helping either, because there's a lot of people of color that are police officers, and there's also issues with that because accountability. Because of the blue wall of silence, they call it. It's like no matter what one cop does, the police will sort of circle the wagons around the cop and protect them. And so white supremacists in the police department are a problem. The wall of silence is a problem. Intensely powerful police unions.
Wait, I'm sorry. What's the wall of science or the wall of silence?
Sound is Phil Spector's.
What did you say? The wall of silence.
The wall of silence. Basically, when a cop does something wrong, then even good cops aren't there's a lot of pressure even on good cops not to snitch,
right?
Not to say, no, I saw what he did. He did something wrong.
Like
it wasn't cool.
Like people within the organization will let you know that you'll lose your job.
Will let you know that you'll be ostracized within your job. Your little snitches get stitches.
Well, do you feel like these protests have helped there be less of a tolerance for that type of thing?
Well, I think that these protests are putting pressure on police departments to implement the change. And there's that 8 can't wait thing. And a lot of people are saying that that's insufficient. The 8 can't wait is a list of 8 different action items that police departments that around the country ought to undertake. I don't have them on hand, but there's like having a chain of escalation. There's all these different things. You can look it up. 8 can't wait. A lot of people are saying that's insufficient because a lot of police departments already implement all 8 of those things and still have problems with police brutality. So here's something I read that was interesting before we move on to the comedy portion, and I promise we'll get to it.
And you have 30 seconds.
I got 30 seconds. What I learned, and this is, okay, so a lot of this stuff is really critical of police departments, and I think that they're deserving of a great deal of criticism, especially big metro ones, but no, the police in general are deserving of a lot of criticism. I think everybody kind of knows that there's a problem in the criminal justice system, period. Not just the police, but the prison industrial complex and the criminal justice system, period. But the other thing is, and this is more sympathetic to police, although it does result in defunding, is that over the years, we have tried to apply the police to every problem that has reared its head in society.
Right.
And the police are not capable of dealing with every problem in society. The police can't handle the homeless crisis. So what they do is they criminalize being homeless, send them to jail. The police can't handle, juvenile mental health issues. So what they do is they grab mentally ill people and throw them in jail. The police can't handle young people on an opioid crisis. So what they do is they criminalize drugs and they send them to jail. And so part of what the defund platform is take some of the money that's going to police departments that are becoming increasingly militarized and apply that money, not taking away any people that fight crime, not saying there are no more people to fight crime, because that's unrealistic. There will still always be police forces to fight crime, I would venture a guess, but it's to take some of that money and start to invest it in actual, imagine, 95% of 911 calls are nonviolent issues. Imagine if every nonviolent call, it was a police officer and a social worker, or 2 social workers, or a social worker and a police officer that didn't have a gun on them. Imagine there were multiple.
But what if the person they're calling has a gun?
Well, that is the what if, right? I mean, that is the what if that is used to justify always sending a military, a combat force to every single problem. You know that old saying, when you're a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. I think that's it. That's what starts to happen. Everybody starts to look like a crook when the only, and to their credit, that should be their only angle. Their only angle should be law enforcement, but law enforcement can't deal with all the problems in a society, and yet we spend money as if they are the only arm through which we have to deal with the problems in society. That's what defund is about. I'm still researching to make sure I believe in it, so don't quote me on that, but look it up for yourself.
And also, thank you to everyone who protested. it's really amazing. I'm so like
It's a wild time.
It's very inspiring.
It is.
I haven't. It's like it's so nice to feel inspired.
And most importantly, thank you to George Soros for funding all of those people.
Okay, let's call our guest.
Let's call our guest. We have an amazing guest tonight.
We have 2 guests.
Yes, we do. Our guests tonight: an amazing comedian, an amazing actor. They're married. They're awesome. You've seen him in Ratatouille.
It's Patton Oswalt and Meredith Salenger.
Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
I got to get my Function of Beauty on.
You keep thinking they're going to send you more free shampoo.
I know, but I miss it. My hair looks like shit because I don't have this Function of Beauty in my life. The cool thing about this company is they formulate a shampoo and conditioner specifically for your hair.
Moshe took the quiz. Our hairs are very different.
Super different.
He
I'm
always
thick.
rubs it in my face.
I don't rub the hair in your face, but I rub in the face. I got thick, beautiful mane of hair. And that's what I need. I need hair for thick boys.
They even put your name on the bottle. Function of Beauty is the internet's top-rated customized hair care brand with over 30,000 5-star customer reviews and counting. I think Moshe's going to email them because he wants another.
I want some more. I'm serious.
And by the way, let me say, we use all of the products that
I know, and
that
I'm
we're getting.
Genuinely bummed that I don't have one right now. It's vegan, cruelty-free. They don't use sulfates, parabens, phthalates, mineral oils, or any other harmful ingredients. Listen, don't take our word for it. Go take the 4-question hair quiz and save 20% off your first purchase. Just go to functionofbeauty.com/honeymoon and your hair could be blinging like mine was before I ran out.
To get started right now, go to functionofbeauty.com/honeymoon to take your 4-part hair profile quiz. Save 20% on your first order. Don't spend another minute in hair misery. Go to functionofbeauty.com/honeymoon to let them know that we sent you. I need to get out of hair misery. I'm going to get mine re-upped as well.
For real. That's functionofbeauty.com/honeymoon. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
Do you ever get, like, overgrown pubes around your, like, testicles and penis? No? Well, I do. And that's why Manscaped came to be a company for guys like me. Hairy guys. Thick pubid guys.
And ladies don't want pubes in their mouth.
They don't. Some do. But not the one you're with. So go to Manscaped.
You should be the spokesperson for this.
I should.
thing.
I'm a hairy boy. And that's this revolutionary company, Manscaped, has they have a specifically engineered electric trimmer. It's called the Lawnmower 3.0. Don't bother with 2.0 or 1.0. The Lawnmower 3.0 has proprietary advanced skin-safe technology, so it will reduce cuts on your nutsack. Okay? They had a scientist that they hired and said, how do we deal with the wrinkles? And they came up with the Lawnmower 3.0.
Okay, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code XXX at manscaped.com.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you more. Beyond just the lawn...
Wait, hold on.
What?
Okay.
Code is honeymoon. Okay, so we said the wrong code, but we're not even there yet. We're just going to keep rolling with this ad. Listen, the Lawnmower 3.0, the non-nutsack nicking and scientifically engineered machine is not all you get. It comes with a perfect package 3.0. They're all about double entendres at this company. And it's awesome. It's a really good gift. I'm not kidding. It actually does look really high quality. It's like a leathery pouch, and inside it's a leathery pouch for your leathery pouch. Inside the leathery pouch comes a Lawnmower 3.0. It's got some deodorant for your nutsack to make your dick not smell bad and your balls not smell bad. It's got a toner. What else? All these different products and a pair of boxer briefs. So you trim up, you lather down, pull on the thong. It's not a thong, it's boxer briefs, but they look good. And fucking get to work. Then you'll be smashing. You smash that ass in no time, and your shit will smell tight.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code honeymoon at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code honeymoon. Get it for your man.
It's a good gift.
Thank you, Manscaped, for making our sex lives better.
Hell yeah.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Patton.
Hello.
Meredith.
How do you pronounce your name? Moshe.
Oh, you did it. You nailed it first try, Meredith. I'm impressed. You've met a Jew before.
I'm Jewish.
Oh, good. You are Jewish. You should have no excuse.
I'm Jewish.
No, because sometimes people say
You
Moishe.
know Jew.
Moshe.
Which is it? Tell me the truth.
No, it's Moshe, but it depends. If you're my uncle, it's Moshe. So whatever you like.
Oh.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want Moshe. Let's stick with Moshe.
Okay, then you're gonna get Moshe. Hi guys, hi Natasha. Thank you for having us.
Of course.
Thank you for doing it.
How are you two faring? I feel like that's a rude question these days.
No. Well, I want to be honest with you and say, if it weren't for this podcast right now, this is like the first time we've like hung out together. It's really
I
fun.
love that.
So are you in separate rooms on the phone? On phones?
No, right this second we're sitting next to each other and we're having a glass of wine and we were listening to music before this whole thing started.
No, but what are you normally doing?
He's downstairs watching a movie and I'm upstairs watching Dateline.
I have to
And I'm
say,
always trying to I'm always trying to lure her downstairs, like, hey, let's watch a classic movie. Let's watch The Last Picture Show. Let's watch. She's like, well, there's a thing about a murder in Tulsa.
No, that's not what it is.
yeah, I
It's
have
not
to
like
say,
that. I'm just
I have to say, Patton's treatment plan sounds a lot healthier than yours, Meredith. It's classic films sound like a better idea than Dateline any day.
I know, but then he's super addicted to it, and he'll just watch classic films all the time.
That is so much better than being addicted to the news. But wait, Meredith, I want to know. What is the compulsion? What do you're afraid you're gonna miss? You're one of the people who you just
No. It's not a compulsion. I just, when there's a new Dateline, I like it because I love the intrigue, and I also want to know. I want to figure it out before they do. Like, I like watching the Dateline when they're like, and it could have been the ex-boyfriend, and it could have been the husband, and it could have been this person, and I'm like, it's the best friend the whole time.
But again, keep in mind, Meredith is going, well, there's a plague outside, and there's riots and racial unrest. Can't I just unwind with my murder show? And I need a piece of wreckage to cling to in this sea of filth. Oh, thank you, Dateline, for my weird Midwest murder show.
No, it's either I watch Rachel Maddow every night and Dateline whenever they have a new one, but there's never a new one. And this is going to sound really horrible to say, but come on, like, get some more episodes. But the problem is someone needs to be murdered for that to happen.
Well, don't you worry. Someone will be. It's coming.
This social distancing makes it really hard for people to murder each other. That's what sucks. That's the worst thing about COVID.
That's so true.
You know, it's really hurting the Dateline.
It's really hurting the Dateline industry. 48 hours Dateline, there's no crime.
Well, we were actually told by our podcast producer that true crime podcasts are down 90%.
Down? Oh, I
Because
guess people
people-
have enough in real life.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. The darkness of real life is getting to people.
But not for you, Meredith. I like that.
Well,
Yeah, she's defiantly standing. She's defiantly clinging to hopelessness in the middle of hopelessness, which I love.
In a sea of hopelessness, she found an island
Yeah.
of hopelessness.
I like that you guys separate at night, though, because I always feel like we have to hang out together, and then I always end up watching something I don't want to watch.
Hey, well, don't do me any favors. I'll go to Patton's basement and watch classic films with him.
Well,
we do watch something, like, there was a time, there are certain shows we definitely watch together, and the other one would be Murdered if they watched it by themselves.
yeah.
So, we watch things together for sure.
Although
But-
sometimes, look, by the way, I have many times said I am happy to come up with my iPad, put my headphones in, and just read a book and listen to waves, and I don't need to disturb you. We can be in the same bed together. And she goes, I need to be alone with my murder shit. Like, she's
I don't
got to get
think-
her.
First of all, that's
And
not,
by the way, when she goes
that's not,
down,
no. It's more like, can I have a minute by myself? Can I
when I
have
see
this
her,
special time
when I
alone
see her go in the
with
kitchen
myself?
and get the mixing bowl full of Smart Food popcorn, I know that she's about to vanish for like an hour.
I like that you know what you need, though, because, like, I feel like I would be like, yeah, Moshe, you can watch it with me, but it's probably more fun to watch it by yourself in your smart corner.
Well, Patton, I keep trying to pitch to Natasha that I'll bring the gaming console into our bedroom and set up a second television so that I can play Apex Legends next to her as she watches monarchy shows or whatever. No, not a bite. Not a bite.
Wow. Oh, so hang on. So Natasha, the monarchy and the royals, that's your thing?
Well, I like watching things like The Crown. Right now, I just started a show called The Great about Catherine the Great. And, anything that's like Victorian
We
ladies.
love The Crown.
Yeah.
Yes.
I watched all of Victoria. I like anything that's from 100 years ago.
Well, especially if it's like messed up people who basically decided the fate of the world every day, like bipolar, manic depressive people that could tell a Navy to go wipe out a country if they were having a bad morning.
It's fascinating to me, like, how smart were those two royals for getting out of that? Like, I just think soon it's just going to be like, what? Wait, they're the queen? They live on, like, hectares of land that they don't share with anyone, and you guys pay for their castles to get redecorated? Like, what? Like,
right, like they don't even get to run the government anymore. Now they're just chilling,
Right.
in the estate.
That that is weird. There are two things that I could care less about, but could watch for hours. Are royalty. We love that show, The Crown. I love that movie, The Queen, with Helen Mirren.
yes.
And then also the world of high fashion. I
Really?
don't care about, but any documentary like Unzipped or the November issue, I don't know why, because it's such a messed up way of living that I could just watch it for hours.
It is fascinating. Glamour. You like it.
I'm like that
Patton,
with
that's
mountain climbing. I love watching mountain climbing documentaries, and I would never, I wouldn't even go on a tall hill in a vehicle.
Yeah, that's like watching cooking shows.
Well, did you watch that documentary Free Solo?
Yeah, amazing. It's the epic.
Yeah, but the whole time you're going, so it's women. Is he gonna like? I almost wanted to take my phone out in the theater and go on Wikipedia and go, "Hey, did this guy die? Am I about to watch a snuff film?" Because they really set it up that he's gonna die.
No, it's
You
one
know?
of the most stressful watches ever. But the funny part to me about that is that having watched a few documentaries is like actually it's the sequel to Free Solo that's really the kicker, which is he's going to die. He will die. That guy will die because he's passionate and obsessed, and he's getting older like everybody else on Earth. So he'll keep climbing until the one day when his body just is just the smallest bit too old to make that one move, and then there will be no more.
Wait, I want to ask Patton a question before we take a call because I'm just asking everyone who's
What do
a
you mean
comedian.
take a call? Take a call.
We're gonna
What's that
take-
about?
You didn't know about?
Wait.
They didn't give you a heads
You
up.
guys are gonna give advice.
Oh yeah, we're an advice
Oh
call
my
in.
God! What?
Yeah, sorry.
But come on, Meredith. I already have advice from you, so you're gonna be good at it.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, yay.
Okay, ask me a question.
Okay, no, I just want to know, what do you think of the state of stand-up comedy? Is it dead?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
the
just
state
that
of
question.
stand-up-
That quick question.
yeah, I think we can agree right now. The state of stand-up comedy, it kind of doesn't exist. I mean, we try. It was very clear very early on, and I'm guilty of. I dropped in on a couple of the Zoom shows just to watch them. Like maybe this is the new thing, and it was immediate. Like, oh no, this is really bad. Like just people alone in their apartment, immediately going like, oh, it's really weird not hearing any laugh. And you see the
Everyone's
person
saying that.
talking and yeah, it's just the worst. It's like, no, stand-up comedy, it's got to be people in a club. And if we can't have that back, then it's going to go away. I'm sorry. I don't want it to. I hope it comes back. But,
Yeah, no, it's like watching
It will.
magicians, but they don't have like the any of the contraptions that hide the illusion mechanism. It's just like, ta-da. It's like, no, we saw
Right.
it.
And Meredith, the reason why it wouldn't come back is because the clubs will go under because they're not going to be able to make the money and pay the rents because people aren't
Right, right.
they're not going to be able to pack them.
Yeah.
So, and then it's only like people.
actually,
yeah.
seeing comedy on Zoom, it's not like a magician with all the trapdoors exposed. It's like watching a magic show, but it's just a close-up of the magician's face. He's going, now what I'm doing now, I'm taking a handkerchief out of a wand. It was a wand, and now it's like a bouquet of flowers. Like, going,
It's,
I guess I kind of need to see this.
it's
Like,
spectacular. Trust me. I swear. This is a good trick.
Okay, I just want to know what he thought because I don't know. I always want people to like.
What do you think?
I mean, I have very negative thoughts about it, but I haven't really come to reckoning with it. So I'm hoping someone positive will tell me that I'm wrong.
well, do you guys miss it? Is it hard for you to write? Because I only write on stage. I haven't been writing.
Same.
You
yeah.
only write on stage?
I have like general ideas, but I have to work them out in front of an audience.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like that's when I do my stuff. And I just sitting down in a notebook, it just I feel like it's the 50s and I'm just writing down, what about these new hats on ladies? And then I can like write 8. Like it doesn't work.
For you.
Yeah, no, I'm with
feels
you.
weird.
I'm the same way.
So how are you getting your creative? What's your creative outlet right now then? If you're not doing that,
Oh God. Well, I mean, trying to keep our daughter entertained.
that's what I
is-
feel too.
wi-
Yeah.
God, our creativity, we're pulling everything in there, and then just doing a lot of trying to write like either develop a screenplay or develop a show, but that's also a prayer, because what if films don't come back?
Right.
Well, Gavin Newsom just said, aren't they opening it up in like 2 weeks that we'll be able to start going back? I don't know. How are they going to do it?
You
Who
guys,
knows?
I went
no
to
fight scenes, no kissing scenes.
I went to pick up food at a restaurant down the street from us tonight as a treat because I had gotten it before. And they had a little takeout window. Everyone was in masks. I walked by there tonight. The restaurant was packed.
Popping.
Oh
no.
Everyone,
also,
no one
it's
had masks
like,
on.
so-
It was busier than I'd ever seen it. And then all the
Oh, dear
workers
God.
are wearing masks.
Just in
All
like
all
2
three
weeks,
dining rooms
the
were full.
hospitals.
Man,
Yeah, and pretty soon the hospitals will be
It's gonna be
completely
another
full in like 2 weeks.
I'm just
after
kind of
all-
laying low for a few weeks.
Right.
Yeah, I think another. Don't go out.
I got to admit, I don't want to say this in a sadistic way. I am fascinated to see the movies and TV shows with the actors who've been in quarantine all this time. So we're gonna have a couple episodes where everyone's pale and bloated, and like they clearly have their quarantine weight on. Where they were just, I had wheat thins for dinner. I mean, look, it's like everyone's gonna suddenly have to go on some kind of crash workout just to get camera ready.
I love that. Or maybe not. Maybe we won't be able to see it. Like maybe we'll all our perception will adjust 10 pounds heavier, and we'll just go, oh, that's well, look at that
That's
hard
the new
body over
normal.
there. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but we're all in happy, fun relationships. I think that people who are single and want to date, and it's not like people were there with their families. I think people are going crazy for interaction, and they're like, okay, at this point, I can have a dinner with someone.
I think this is literally the perfect time to fall in love. Wait, Natasha, I'm not even joking.
No, I know, it's cute.
Because let me explain.
Yeah, you got it under the wire.
Oh, Patton.
What do you mean?
No,
I got it.
we're
no,
not.
under like the quarantine thing that was coming. If you still had the date now, it'd be such a nightmare.
Oh, totally. Me and Natasha aren't a marriage of love, though. This is a citizenship. This is a green card thing, but that's neither here nor there.
Wait, but you think this is a romantic time, Meredith?
Well, I don't think it's a romantic time. This is the thing. You know how like all the mothers say to their single daughters, like, you're never gonna meet him sitting at home in your pajamas eating ice cream. You need to go out. If you've been dating everybody in the entire universe and everybody is not somebody you want to be with. So your mother says that to you 1,000 times. And then suddenly you end up meeting the man you marry sitting at home in your pajamas.
Right.
I met Patton we only texted each other for like 3 months.
Really?
Like we didn't meet in person. We didn't talk. I didn't even know his voice. Like I didn't know anything.
You didn't know his voice?
fact,
He's famous for his voice. He was the voice of Ratatouille.
Yeah, come on.
No, I know what you mean,
him
though.
on the phone before I met him. Well, that's not true. I spoke to you like 2 days before I met
That's
you.
Just on the
Wild.
phone, though.
Did you live
Yeah.
somewhere else,
Yeah.
Meredith?
No, not at all.
They were just going slow, which I totally appreciate.
I love that.
No, it was like
I brought her over from Uzbekistan.
Your English is really remarkable, Meredith.
Oh, she's
It's remarkable.
all
I'm
phonetic,
so
but
right.
it's amazing.
No, a friend of ours had a dinner party and she invited like 15 people on a Facebook text thread, and everybody went except Patton. And like the day after the dinner party, I texted on the text thread. I was like, that was the best dinner party ever. And then I said to the guy who didn't show, dude, you missed the best fucking moment. Are we allowed to say bad words?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said,
podcast.
he missed the best lasagna in the world. That's what I said. And then he like DM'd me and he's like, oh, I'm supposed to be there, blah, blah, blah. And then we just started, I happened to be online right at that moment. And I was like, hey, hi. And then we just talked for like, we just kept texting back and forth for like 2 hours. And then he's like, I have to put my daughter to bed. Same time this is fun. Same time tomorrow. And I was like, sure.
Oh,
And then
Patton
we
made
talked
the
again.
move.
Patton, you got game. I did
Well,
not know.
But it wasn't even like me being.
No, we weren't like flirting.
I just wanted someone to talk to at night. Like I had missed that so much.
We
and
weren't
then,
100% not flirting.
It
We
lit-
just happened to
Okay.
be talking about, it was right when Trump was becoming,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
like right when there was a lot of Trump stuff. Not
Yeah.
that there hasn't been every single day, but it was sort of at the beginning of this.
it's like someone to bitch to. Yeah, and then
And we were
early
talking about
2016.
that, and then we were talking about food and stupid stuff. And then
I mean,
we
that's
just,
very romantic.
I mean, isn't that wild? I'm sure you guys have thought this mathematic through a lot, but just hearing your story, it's like, What if you had decided not to send that text that night and just been like, that was a nice party, and kept it to yourself?
Wait, no, here's what I keep saying. What if he had shown up at the dinner party?
Right.
Because we'd never be together. No,
That's really funny.
at the dinner party, I would have seen him and we would have been like, hi, and I would have, maybe laughed with him for a minute.
Yeah.
And then been my,
That is so
my
Thank God.
beautiful.
self,
Love
and
that.
Thank God for distancing.
Yeah, that's so nice. I love that.
That is really
So that's what I'm
sweet.
saying, why this is the perfect time to fall in love, because, you have to actually communicate with the person and find out what they're actually about, and you
That
kind of
is
might
true. You
like
can't get
them.
together anytime
You
soon.
can't really.
I think that's a really good point. We've actually talked to a lot of people that have been, doing these long-term Tinder romances, and I don't know what we have in store tonight. Are you guys down to do a phone call or two with us?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
I'm
Oh my
ready to
gosh,
sling
I'm
some
so
wigs, so
excited.
let's
This
do
is
it.
A big surprise. Yes, I'm very excited.
All right,
I want to hear what people have to say.
let's do it.
Okay, let's call Sarah in Maryland.
Oh, Maryland.
Are you like calling her? This is
Well,
so
the
exciting.
producer arranged it.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Sarah.
Hi.
Hi, it's Moshe Kasher and Natasha Leggero.
And we're here with our friends Patton Oswalt and Meredith Salenger.
Hello.
God. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
How's
Sarah.
it going?
I've never heard anyone fawn over us.
Yeah, they always fawn over the guests, don't they?
Mary, like, what time is it there? Are you fast asleep?
What's that?
Are you fast asleep over there? What is it, like super late in Maryland right now?
It's almost 1 a.m., but it's fine.
Oh my God.
We're
I'm
in
good.
quarantine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't-
Yeah, for real.
We don't want people to know we abuse our guests.
time has no meaning.
Hey, Sarah, are you calling from Balmer there? Is you calling right from Balmer?
Oh God. He's doing accents. too.
No.
You don't? No? So he's not in the city there, hon.
Is this a
God.
Ratatouille?
Yeah, no, this is a Maryland. Not fawning
That's not
anymore, are you,
Ratatouille.
Sarah?
Now she's like, oh, gross.
Sarah, kick it. What's happening? Why'd you contact us? How can
What's
we
up?
help you?
Yeah. I have to say this. Natasha, you posted a photo. I know you're not a politics podcast. You posted a photo of you and Bernie. I'm sorry. For promoting Bernie. It made me so happy. And I just wanted to say that I love that about you, and I love you guys' podcast so much.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, so much for Bernie.
Sarah. Okay.
I
Sarah.
know. So where do I begin? So about 3 weeks into quarantine, my husband comes to me and he says, hey, my brother-in-law, who's actually his best friend, is going to come stay with us because my sister and him are having some marital problems. And I didn't know anything about what was going on. This was a surprise to me. My sister hadn't reached out to me about anything. And this was the first time that I was finding this out. Tried to pry a little bit more and ended up finding out that my brother-in-law found out during quarantine that my sister has been having an affair.
Wait, you're related to the affair person, not to the guy moving
Yes.
in?
Yes. So herein lies my problem.
Wait a
Thank you,
minute.
Moshe, for bringing it. Yes. So basically what happened was my husband and I met. We've been married for 10 years. We actually met through my brother-in-law and my sister. And so the four of us have always been really close. And basically my brother-in-law needed somewhere to stay and he had nowhere else to go. And so when he came over, my husband was like, look, you're not supposed to know about this. You're not supposed to know anything.
Oh my God.
Please keep this. Yeah. Please,
Don't tell your
during
sister.
during a pandemic, I've got 2 children. I'm like worried about like keeping the house clean, but here I am also caring for my brother-in-law and also
You're like
their child.
You're like, who would I tell? Who
Wait.
would I talk to
Right.
about this?
Exactly.
Their child moved
So-
in too?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But I'm not supposed to know anything, right? So this was, I think, late March.
You're not supposed to know anything
Well,
from the
she's I think
point
she's
of view.
right, but you're taking us through it, right? So this is March. So has
Right.
there been a
This
development?
is March. So 2.5 months now later, I'm still not supposed to know. He has stayed over at our house sporadically because of this whole thing, probably 4 or 5 more times. And I'm still not supposed to know. Nobody's supposed to know except my husband.
Wait, where does he go when he's not staying at your house?
He goes back to her.
So he does
goes
have
back to
someplace
her.
else to go. It's his house.
Yeah, I mean, right.
He has
but
his house to go to.
Exactly.
Well,
But
when they're
they
fighting, he
felt
stays
like
with you.
correct.
okay,
Yeah.
well, it's clear to me what you have to do, Sarah. And I'm sorry to say this, but you have to fuck your brother-in-law. There's just no way around it. I don't see a way. I'm not sure I see a way out of
balance.
this.
That's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
This is yin and yang. You've got to balance the force.
Hard pass.
You're the one to bring balance to the force.
That's right.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
I mean, I would not like it if my husband wanted me to keep a secret from someone.
No, this is totally unacceptable. It's your sister. It's like no.
Yeah. Well, also, my sister has not reached out to me about it. And
Right.
I think a big part of it, too, is like from the things that I've been hearing about it, I'll say this, like they have always been the couple that my husband and I have looked up to. They've been married for like 15 years. And when I found this out, it was literally like it just came out of nowhere. And I think a part of the reason why I do want to reach out to her is like, so the first week that he was staying with me, he was obviously like devastated about it, staying in the guest room with the door closed, and her, like by contrast, she's, I follow her on social media. She's like posting photos of her food and like living my best life, like, doing live streams of like, makeup tutorials and just like, it was just such a huge contrast. And like, this has kind of been the pattern is that like, he'll come over here and he'll be really upset about it. And then she just kind of, it just seems like
Do you have a
nothing.
good relationship with your sister?
Yeah, do you guys get along?
Are you friends with your sister? Can you say, you seem different. What's happening? What's going on in your life?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I want to do. But at the same time, like, there obviously is a reason why they haven't told me about it. And, like, they've wanted to keep it a secret. And, like, I know that they're trying to, like, go to therapy.
Sarah, the brother-in-law also thinks you don't know?
I mean, I would assume that he probably knows that I know by now. But, yes, it's one of these things where it's like,
it's
why
like your husband's
be
making
a secret? Like,
play like an improv game right now, right? Like you can't talk to one person. Like this is insane.
But like, what's the deal? Your sister knows her husband's not there. He has to be somewhere. What's the big deal if he's staying at your place?
Yeah.
At least he's
It's
at
like
your
the
place
worst
and not
episode of Three's
with,
Company ever.
that he's trying to take revenge on.
she knows that he comes here. That's another thing.
Okay,
it's
so
like she knows.
Okay, well,
basically everybody knows, and you're just being silenced by your husband.
That sounds exactly
whatever
right, Meredith.
And my brother-in-law.
Whatever the details are of it, we don't even need to know. The real thing is that, like, I really think that this quarantine is making us all, like, really think about our lives and what we want. And I think you might need some new boundaries in your life. And, and also, like, limits to what you're comfortable with. And I just think this is going to, when you guys get out of this, you're going to need a little bit of space from these people too, because it's like, you need, that's my thought.
But do you think I should reach out to her? Like, do you think that I should be like, hey, like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is not like you. Are you okay? Like,
Meredith,
that's really,
Meredith was saying, if you have a good enough relate. I mean, but see, Meredith, you have this really like easy way about you. Some people can't just be like breezy,
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
Well, it depends on the relationship. If it's an awkward relationship with your sister, that's one thing. But if you guys are friends and you're like, what's happening? I've sensed this change. What's going on in your life? And give her an opportunity to talk to you. Maybe she doesn't have an opening.
Patton, what do you think?
Well, I have one more question, though. So his kid is also coming over to the house, right?
Yes.
How do you...
Her nephew or niece.
So do you think that that his child is aware of anything, or are they suspicious? Are they confused, or what's going on?
So that's another part of it too. Like I said, there's so many pieces to this, but sometimes they'll even like say, "Hey, could you watch our child while we go and we talk?" And it's, and their child has asked me, like,
you know what, I think everybody knows everything, and everybody's playing some game where you're trying to pretend that you all don't know what's really happening. And I think you need to say to your sister, "Hey, we all kind of know what's going on here. Are you okay? Do you need something? What's going on?"
I like that. That's bold, but I think that's good.
I totally agree.
And you're not going to get in trouble for caring. It's not like it's a secret that you're not revealing anything.
But
it's
Meredith,
just, hey,
what does she do?
on?
What does she do if her husband gets mad at her?
No, well, that's the other issue here is that's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing my sister, my brother-in-law, but the actual culprit in this story is neither of them. They're just having a messy life like we all have. The culprit is your husband, who's asking you to basically traffic and espionage between your family and your home. It's like,
well, he's also trying to protect like his best friend's privacy.
No,
it's
he
not
doesn't.
his privacy. It's your family. That's your sister. That's your husband. That's your nephew or niece. Like you guys are a family. There's no privacy. It's just and he's your husband. They're best friends. Who cares?
And also, like Meredith just said, even though it's not being spoken, everyone knows what's going on.
Right.
It's just not being spoken, but everyone knows it's happening.
So I think you need to have. It sounds like you have to have two conversations. One is with your sister and just say, "Hey, I love you. I know what's going on," or "Hey, I hate you. I know what's going on." And one with your husband, like, "I'm sorry, I will not continue to pretend that I don't know this stuff. It's not fair of you to ask me to do that."
Also, just FYI, the people you're telling me to keep it from are my sister.
You're right.
Right.
Like
that's a terrible position to be in.
But it's your sister. So you know what? He doesn't get a right to tell you that you don't get to know.
By the way, do you know who she's having an affair with? Do you know the person? Is it?
It's really funny because I met him. It's not funny, but I actually saw them walking. No, I saw them walking downtown one night when I was out with my friends. It was just the two of them, and I was like, "Hey sis, what's up? What are you guys doing? Who is this?" And she's like, "Oh, this is just my friend." And like she honestly, she has a lot of gay.
Why do you think she's reluctant to tell you?
I don't know. A lot of gay friends, and I thought maybe that was just.
But here's what I really believe, though. If you fast forward 6 months, if I had to bet, I would say she's living her best life. She's not getting back together with him. Now you've got this like guy in your life who's your husband's best friend. It's like they're not going to stay together. She's like clearly doesn't like him anymore. That's obvious to me.
And that's what I want to say to him is like, just you guys put in a good 15 years, like just send it.
You can also
like
say
don't
to your
keep
sister,
trying to get him to come back.
I'm here to talk if you need me to talk you through any of this.
Before we let you go, Sarah, Meredith, Patton, any parting words?
Take your sister out for some cod and some natty bows.
Do it the Maryland way. Do it the Maryland way.
Cod with some seasoned salt and
no. You just be your strong self and you say to your sister, "Hey, a lot's going on. I think we should talk about it," and just be real.
Yeah.
And just don't be afraid. And
Good
don't
advice.
be afraid to tell your husband what you feel, and just be straight up.
And
Great
also,
advice.
you just tell your husband. I'm not even saying this in any kind of defiant way. You can't treat me like this. I'm not 11 years old. I should be able to talk who I need to talk to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could just say that in a very reasonable way. Like,
this ain't the Catholic Church. No one needs to keep a secret.
Yeah.
This isn't Spotlight. All right.
Yeah. Just bring oxygen into this whole situation because this is a smoldering mess. Sarah, good luck. This is sticky, and I don't
Sarah,
envy you.
Sorry.
Yes, we are
Okay,
sorry.
bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you guys.
Bye, Sarah. Good luck.
Patton, if you had more, you can say it because she'll listen to the podcast.
That's true. We often talk about our guests afterwards.
Say really quick what Moshe said. Yeah, it's sticky, but also it's not sticky. If she just laid it out the way that Meredith was saying, I got to talk to. It's my sister. I got to talk to her.
It's sticky if you make it sticky. It's
right,
like if you can't be straight up honest at the start, things get sticky.
Totally.
Hey, baby, our daughter just came in. Are we waking you up? We're on a very important call. We're currently podcasting.
Are we being too loud?
Just say hi, Natasha. Hi, Moshe. Say that. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Moshe.
Hi.
Hi, Alice.
What do you
Gonna
think?
go back to sleep.
What should
She said
Sarah
hi.
do?
I'm not gonna.
Wait,
I'm not
Alice,
gonna,
we're actually really for real on a phone.
we're actually doing like an
We're
advice
doing
show.
a podcast on TV, on somewhere. Thank
On
you, love you,
somewhere.
bye.
No, but what Meredith, what you were saying about stickiness is like, yes, it's sticky, and it's like the husband came home with like a gallon of honey and was just like pouring it all over the house, going like, let's just deal with this. It's all good, right? What do you guys think?
Don't act like you're stepping in honey.
What do you guys think? Are you up for one more?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, great.
This is
Let's do
fun.
one
Oh my
more.
God, you guys do this?
Yeah, this is
is
what we do.
Oh my God, I love this.
Hey, Tosh,
Yeah, Moshe?
let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you ever used an air purifier?
I've got them in every room.
Yeah, you do. You have them in every room. And I got to say, I was skeptical.
I got
Honestly,
worried about the fires.
I was skeptical. I didn't believe it. I thought they were kind of BS. And then she bought a molecule air purifier and started running them in our room. And I have to say, I'm convinced. It feels pure. It feels good.
Molecule air purifiers destroy the widest range of pollutants compared to traditional air purifiers, including viruses. Hello, anyone know of any viruses that are around lately? Bacteria.
Hello? Anybody ever heard of a virus going on?
mold, allergens, and chemicals in the air.
If you're like us, you live in a fire zone too. So that's the air purifiers were really helping with the smell of fires in our room.
Molecule Air is designed for large rooms up to 600 square feet.
Then there's the Air Mini, which is for small rooms up to 250 square feet. And there's a Molecule Air Mini Plus, which helps protect small rooms. It's got a particle sensor and auto protect mode, which adjusts fan speed based on its sensor.
And most importantly, Molecule's claims have been verified with rigorous testing from independent third-party labs.
So listen, global air pollution is getting worse. Over 80% of people living in urban areas that monitor air pollution are exposed to air quality that are below WHO standards. So you should get something like this.
And also,
it
it meets performance criteria and FDA guidance for use during COVID-19. Have you heard of it?
Ever heard of it? Hello! So listen, get one of these. For 10% off your first air purifier, all you have to do is go to Molecule, MOLEKULE.com and enter honeymoon at checkout. MOLEKULE.com, code honeymoon. Cleaner air is better air. We got
Someone in North Dakota.
Hey, actually no, Patton, you're going to be able to stretch your accent skills up the eastern seaboard. We're going to be calling Jay in Maine.
Oh, Maine.
Lobsters.
Lobsters. Lobsters. Finest kind, yeah. Finest kind.
Maine. I look like a mitten.
I don't really know a Maine accent. I got to go right I hope that weird Pennywise the Clown isn't down in the sewers. I don't know. The only thing I know about Maine is Stephen King.
Stephen King, yes.
Oh, to be Stephen King in Maine.
Stephen King and libertarians. So that's
Snorting
basically...
lines of coke off of his typewriter in the 70s. That sounds so
exactly.
cool.
All right, let's call Jay.
Oh, it's a boy, I think.
Hello?
Hi, Jay.
Hi.
It's Natasha Leggero, Moshe Kasher, and we're here with our friends Meredith Salenger and Patton Oswalt.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Good.
Oh,
Good.
and did I mention Moshe?
Yeah, you mentioned me. How you doing, Jay?
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Our last caller was a lot more excited about the call. You seem really laid back.
Yeah, I am pretty just laid back in general,
All right. Well,
but I am very excited.
oh, good. Well, why did you contact us? How can we help? What's your situation?
Well, I basically contacted you because me and my boyfriend aren't fucking anymore. Just to be blunt about it.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Hang on, let me, guys, let me get Alice down here again. Hang on. Alice,
How old is she now? 7?
she's 11.
She's 11. Okay.
She'd know just what to do. Okay.
She's good with that.
So how come? What's up?
I don't really know. I don't know if it's because of the whole like pandemic thing or something. I mean, that's probably it. I think that's kind of like on everyone's mind, but
Are you guys...
yeah, it's just really annoying. I don't know. We used to be all about fucking. I mean, we're in like almost a year together. I've never been in a relationship this long, so maybe it's normal. You stop fucking as much when you are this long
Well, take us
together.
take us through the numbers. What did it used to be? What is it now? How long has it been?
All right, so it's probably been like, I don't know, almost a month. And we used to, I don't know, like once a day, just about in the beginning, and
Once
then
a
like
day?
every couple days.
Once a day
Yeah.
to have. It's been almost a month. And do you guys live together?
No, but we're at each other's houses like every other day or so now.
It's been a year. Been a month.
I mean, this is a very unprecedented, thing. So this is, I wonder what this would do, because you guys didn't really decide to move in with each other yet, but now there's nothing else going on. So you're probably spending a little more time with each other than you normally would.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. We kind of, and I've never been in like a serious relationship like this. So, I don't know. I mean, I've seen in movies that the longer you're together, you don't fuck as much. Is that normal?
Yes, but I would say it doesn't go from every day to 30-day dry spell. That doesn't seem. That seems like there's more. What do you guys think, Patton, Meredith? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Meredith is coming back. She just had to let the cat in the room. She was scratching.
Oh, was that your door opening?
Well, we have a cat hanging out here with us.
Sorry.
No, please.
I mean,
it really sounded
it
like.
does.
I'm just gonna be honest. It sounded like one of the three people was like just letting out really long farts, and I think it was your door opening.
Oh.
But we were having a real crisis.
No, it is.
Oh, it's our leather chair.
Oh.
It's a reclining chair.
Well,
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Well, Jay, you're in Maine, so we kind of assumed it was you, just like a lumberjack, just kind of like sawing logs or whatever, but
Yeah.
didn't know what to
No,
say.
I don't. I'm definitely not a lumberjack. I don't think.
Just 2 seconds. Hang on.
Listen.
Hang on.
Go.
Okay, wait, we're just going to pause for a second. Oh, wait, did he say to wait?
Oh, there it is.
There it is. That's the chair. I was
Patton, we were being so polite for so long, but it just we couldn't wait anymore. I mean, we just were freaking out because we're videotaping ourselves right now, Patton, for the YouTube, and Natasha and I were giving each other looks and going, "Is it Jay? Is it them? Like who is it?"
Oh my God, I'm gonna take a picture of the chair and send it to you.
Oh
Alex.
yes, please.
I will.
Oh God.
I'll videotape it.
I mean, look, it does. It tapers off, but what?
Okay, we need to get back to our little friend.
Oh yeah,
What's
to
going
Jay.
on?
I mean,
Let's
Jay.
get back to Jay.
Moshe is right. It tapers off, but this feels like a switch got thrown. Like to go from once a day to then a month and nothing. That's like wait a minute.
Totally.
Do you come on to him,
Yeah.
Jay? Do you make moves and are you rebuffed?
Yeah, I'm usually the one that starts it. Like I was like more of the dom, and he's like the sub, because we're into like that type of shit. But
Do you do it like Maine themed though? Are there like axes and like wool beanies and stuff like that?
yeah, there is, and like just lobster and butter. Yeah, no, but no,
I mean,
yeah,
does
I
he turn
do,
you down?
But I keep getting rejected.
Oh, that's bad.
I do have a bit of advice about this. I would say, obviously, the answer is that you should talk about this. Have you talked about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not really. I don't know how to bring it up. It seems
Well, I
kinda
have a
awkward.
bit of
I guess
advice. I have a bit of advice on how to talk about it, or how not to talk about it. What you should not do,
Okay.
in my opinion, is try to hook up with him, get rejected, and then say, "How come we never have sex anymore?"
Mhm.
Because then everybody's embarrassed and has the awkwardness of sexuality involved, and just don't do it in the bedroom. Do it during the day, in daylight hours when there's nothing sexy happening. Just have a real conversation and just say, "What's going on? We used to have sex a lot, now we don't. Let's talk. I feel like we need to get this out in the open."
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, he like doesn't have he's not working right now. He's a massage therapist, so that's not really happening right now. So probably like stressed out about stuff. I mean, I'm stressed out too. Like my tanning salon's closed. Like me being pale is my dead grandmother. Like
Okay, Jay.
Look, I hate to interject, but that someone who that's his work and that's his job and that's been cut off. Just keep in mind, maybe one of the reasons for the drop off is we are living in a very extraordinary situation, and people are going to deal with it in different and sometimes extreme ways. And the reason could just be very, very benign. And like Moshe said, if you don't bring it up during the act, just bring it up later, go, hey, what is going on? I'm concerned. This means a lot to me and it's not happening. He could very well just go, you know what? Because I can't do my job, I don't feel like I am myself. And it's just, I'm shutting down right now. And that does happen, you know.
Wait, that's how I feel.
These are extraordinary times. So
that was
keep that in mind.
But you're right. People are all processing it in different ways. I mean, how are the other aspects of your relationship? Do you guys like watch movies and have fun and cuddle or do anything like that?
Yeah, we do. Everything else is pretty normal, actually pretty good. Like, I'm pretty happy with him in every other aspect. It's just, yeah, we just haven't really been having sex as much as we used to.
Yeah, I mean, you basically, you're just going to have to take the awkward bit in your teeth and have an awkward conversation. I mean, you're a dom, dude. You got to get out there and emotionally dom. You know? You got to get out there and say, hey, you little piggy, you sit down. We need to chit chat about my emotional needs, my physical needs. You little pig, you, or something like that. I don't know how it goes.
I will say I had a boyfriend once, and he wasn't having sex with me, and I asked him about it, and he would always get really mad.
Okay, well, that might happen, but you got to find out.
So I never go to that because I'm afraid, because I'm like, oh, maybe people don't want to talk about that.
Do we lose Jay? Jay's dead.
Oh, poor Jay.
You know what got him?
I wondered, Jay, if you're listening, I mean, if you could offer any tips on like how to, because your partner, you say he still watches movies with you. Like, how do you get him to do that? Like, let's say your partner is like going upstairs and like watching Dateline when you want to watch Searchers with them, and you really feel like maybe there's not a connection anymore. I'd love to hear any tips. I'll take my answer off the air.
No, I think we have him, Jay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Jay, we thought the Tommy knockers got you.
Wait,
nicely done.
Thank you, Patton. I know you knew you'd be the only one who got it.
But really quickly, Meredith, you got to give Patton a Turner Classic movie once in a while.
That is true.
Because it's going to enrich your life.
Oh my God.
Okay, good.
It's not that I don't. You just said, what's the typical?
I know, I hear you.
Typical is that.
Of
But there are
course.
times that I sit down here with him. What was that movie we watched?
Yeah, stand by,
I don't
Jay.
even remember.
No, we watched
All right.
I'd say we watched like 2 movies a week together.
Okay.
He's just upset.
Well, I feel bad for Jay because we were just kind of like,
Wrapping up.
he's got it. Well, he's got to do this really hard thing, which
Right.
I was just saying.
Yeah, I know.
It sucks to say that because you have to also maybe mentally. Is this bad to say? Mentally prepare yourself for a bad answer.
It's true. Yes, of course. But there's
But
there's nothing good that comes from not knowing. I mean, it's like it's like getting a cancer test. It's like you don't want to get it because you're scared you have it, but it's not going to be good to have it and not
You
know.
need to know what's up.
Yeah.
And one thing I like.
Yeah, I'd rather know. I like just knowing. I hate I like being upfront about stuff. So it'll probably just be better than just to wonder and call podcasts about it.
But you could also tell him if you are open sexually, which you seem like you are. Like you could say like, is there something else you would like? Like, is there something else I can do? Like, I really want to,
Right.
make you happy.
I'll be the pig. Just let me know what you need me to be.
But that might be nice to know.
Yeah. No, totally. Meredith, do you have any thoughts?
So many. Often. And
No, I didn't mean
all
generally.
ranges
I'm
of
sorry.
thought.
No,
No, I know what you meant.
Just generally, what's on your mind?
No, I 100% knew what you meant. No, I mean, I just, honesty is always going to be my number one go-to, which is like, hey, what's up?
Totally.
What's going on? I know to change. That'll just be my mantra, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think
like
what Patton was saying is so true. It's like, and I think I don't know if women feel this way, but I feel like a lot of men, their finances and their job is tied to their feelings of manhood, and you feel impotent when your career isn't where you want it to be, and that could be all it is. He could feel sort of spiritually impotent and like, not, so that could be it. That could be all that it is, or it could be something worse, and you want to know.
Yeah. I mean, that's good advice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So that's what I'll do. I'll just kind of ask him randomly out of the blue. Maybe like when we're in public or hanging out with friends.
Yeah, great idea. You got our advice exactly right.
No, but maybe morning
Yeah.
coffee is a good, like, what's the time that you guys spend together that you can like talk and kind of catch up and see what you're doing for the day and,
Yeah, like morning coffee or after work. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
after my
Or-
work. But
Take them to a protest march. It's loud. If you need to yell at each other, like it's.
Why aren't we having sex?
Yeah.
What is
Right.
going on?
And you can get away easily if you get bad news. You can just slip into the crowd and go find somebody else.
Yeah. Ho ho. Hey. We used to have sex once a day. Ho ho. Hey. We, just see if that works.
I'll start making signs. Yeah.
Jay, do we help you at all?
I think we helped. We must have helped. You just got
Yeah.
the advice is obvious. You just have to fucking take the bit in your teeth, like James Caan did in Misery when he was going to get his
Oh my
feet
God,
sledgehammed,
Moshe.
and another King classic. And you just got to get slammed and find out what's up with your cockadoodie relationship.
Jay, sometimes you've got to corner your problems in a Pinto on a hot day, and you've got to be the rabid Saint Bernard that just is growling and getting that problem to admit, what is going on.
No, you have to take a stand.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm a dog groomer. I understand that.
You have to take a stand, not just a stand. You have to take the stand. You have to take the
You
stand.
really do.
Yeah, it's
The
really
stand.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is-
And then if you carry through, it'll all be shining. That's the main thing.
And you're the
Damn.
dom, dude. You're the gunslinger. You are the one who slings the gun.
I don't even think Jay knows
Yeah.
what you guys are doing.
I'm just saying your relationship
sure
has
he
become a dark tower, and you need to figure it out.
Yes. Really
Okay.
has.
All right. Well, Jay, you're welcome, and try
Thank you.
to keep a brave face.
Good luck. Good luck, Jay.
I will.
Let us know what happens. We want to know. Keep in touch with us.
Yeah. Good luck, man.
Okay,
Thank
goodbye,
you guys.
Jay.
This is awesome.
Good night.
Bye.
Meredith, I like how you just have this like general loving feeling that you just kind of, you're very honest. Like, do you just kind of like, I like the idea of having a mantra of how you want to deal with situations. I think that must.
Well, I just came up with that in that 3 seconds. Like, I don't know.
Well, I like how you bullshit, Meredith, and you do it really convincingly.
No, but just even talking to her, she's like, your instincts are not, my instincts are not to be open usually.
Hmm.
With Moshe a little bit, but.
Yeah. No, when I said it, I guess I do feel that way all the time, but I just said, oh, I guess that's my mantra. But I never thought of it like that before.
Well, mantras come quickly sometimes. You guys, that
I
was
like that.
you guys, that was so much fun. You guys were so fun. I just loved it.
Oh my God, you guys are so fun.
That was
What
awesome.
wow. Meredith
Is
is
that
genuinely
over?
jealous. I think she wants to do this for a living.
That's so fun.
You guys are going to be like, so like with the
New
podcast.
coming out, and
Yeah. Hmm.
we don't have a lot going on right now. And
We'll just do a part 2 of yours. And now we're going to hand off the mic to Rich Donato and then to
Wait,
Lawrence O'Donnell.
I have a
Then-
question for you guys. Do you have any like any tips, anything you've learned in quarantine dealing with relationships, each other, anything that could help me and
Someone have
Moshe?
their morning coffee before you try to talk to them.
Yeah,
I like
literally. By the
Okay.
way, yes, that she kind of said that as a joke, but there's an unspoken, like, let her have her coffee, let daddy have his tea, let them get caffeinated, because if not, you're not going to get the full person. So
That's just for him, by the way.
we're very
He's the one
respectful
that
for
you need to make
being
sure he
fueled up.
That's funny because Moshe is like that. I always try to like bombard him before his coffee.
I'm just not even functional. I'm not even grumpy. I'm just not human.
But I
don't
haven't
have
learned
anything.
that. I'm just like, hey, what are we doing here?
You
What
know
is
what
Wednesday?
You know what I might do?
Hey,
I might find. I might.
Exactly the same here.
I
Yeah.
might find if there's a company out there that makes a T-shirt that says "Don't even talk to me till I've had my coffee." And if they do manufacture such an item, maybe I'll buy it for me and Pat.
You should put it on a mug.
Yeah, that's a
make
great
a
idea,
mug.
Meredith.
Oh.
Wow. What a
Me
good-
and Meredith are bringing it. You guys are just antisocial. It's not.
Okay, fine.
We're
bef-
like the little dogs that are like,
Yep, that's right.
Well, before we let you guys go, speaking of being antisocial, Patton, do you have a top 3 or just 3 movie recommendations from quarantine for our listeners and for us?
oh, yes. Can I
Oh.
be one of the people who says the
Yes,
recommendation?
yes.
No, we
yes.
want
Let me
yours
take
too.
Oh, well, I'm not going to have 3 of my
No,
own.
just do what came to mind. I want to know.
That one we just saw, the Thing of Night. that one?
Oh God, there's a movie that's on Amazon Prime right now called The Vast of Night.
Oh my God, it's so good.
And
Vast of
this is
Night.
some first-time filmmaker. I don't think they spent more than $20,000 on this movie.
But it looks like it's $8 million.
This guy is. Oh, this is the start of a huge career.
Oh, cool.
It is.
It's
such
really cool. It's like mysterious.
Beautiful name.
It's
The
so
Vast of
unique.
Nights.
You must.
Okay.
The Vast
The
of Night. I
Vast
don't want to
of
tell you what it's about, and it's short. It's
Yes,
like
watch it.
an hour and 20 minutes. It's so
What else?
good.
Love that. We're watching that. The Vast of Night.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we also there's a new horror movie that I'm not recommending. I'm going to watch it tomorrow morning without Meredith because I hear this one is really bad news. But it's called The Deeper You Dig.
Ooh,
And if you go,
I like
Don't
the sound of
recommend it if
that.
you
I
haven't
love
seen
the
it yet.
sound of that.
it's
No.
it's on iTunes. Every review I've read.
But the
Yes,
Willoughbys had a high review.
Hang on. Oh yeah, that's true.
The deeper you
But
dig.
it's one of the creepiest trailers I've seen in a long time. It's called The Deeper You Dig.
I love that.
And it really freaked me out. So I'm recommending me watching it tomorrow.
Great.
Does that make sense?
yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you know what's a really, really good quarantine movie? I watched it again. My daughter saw it for the first time. Is the movie
Contagion?
Groundhog Day.
No,
Oh, really?
Raising Arizona.
Oh, well, okay. Raising Arizona is just a wonderful film.
All the time.
But Groundhog Day is about being stuck in the same day
Right.
over and over and trying to make
That's
it
cool.
have meaning and worth.
I love that. Okay, we got 4 now. We
I
got
love
4 out
that.
of you.
And I would love to watch that movie too, like, because I've been thinking about that movie, but also it's like I can't figure out if I like it or hate it. Not the movie, the being stuck in the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm starting
Well,
to feel like I
you
went
know-
for a walk yesterday, and then I saw my house, and I was like, I need to get home. Like I just had this
Yeah.
feeling that I needed to get back home, and I felt like kind of weird about that. I don't know, like
You know
maybe
Yes, and it's also strange where he goes through the stages of first he's kind of bewildered, like, how do I do this? Then he's like, I can eat all the junk food I want. I can do whatever. This is, and so I think, and then he's like, wait a minute, I got to make this actually matter. Because I think a lot of us went through the, okay, it's going to stay inside. I'm going to catch up on all my shows and just play video games. And after a week, like that just sort of gets a little sour. And you're like, wait a minute, I do need some pushback and some meaning or something, and then you have to figure that out for yourself. And it's kind of amazing.
I
I
love
like
that.
that.
Good. We're gonna watch those movies.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this to the listeners before we let you go. The times that we're living through are so insane, and Natasha was looking at this list of movies that would kind of help people that feel like they don't have an understanding of what's happening right now. And she was like, "Have you watched Have you watched the 13th on Netflix?" And I watched it a long time ago, and I just, to anybody out there listening that's like, "How did we get here?" The 13th is so good. Ava DuVernay's documentary on Netflix about the prison industrial complex and the 13th Amendment. I recommend that to everybody listening. And then also we're watching.
That's a good recommendation.
It's good, huh?
And I want to recommend Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh yeah, we just watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with our daughter. That was so
I
great.
love that.
I just loved that she liked it, and
Yeah.
it made me feel. And also, The Wizard of Oz was great
We
to
just
watch
watched
right
that,
now
too.
because it really felt
Mhm.
like I really related to it this time around.
And what are we watching right now? We're watching this Elliot Gould. Is it The Long Goodbye?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Oh, I've seen The Long Goodbye so many times. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And I won't go off on it now. I have some very, very specific theories about what's actually happening in that movie.
Oh well, I'll hit you up offline. I'll take my call off air.
Yeah, hit me up offline because I have a very weird theory about that film.
You know what's
It's
interesting?
Brilliant.
A few years ago, Blaine posted about an apartment in Hollywood.
Blaine Capatch.
Blaine Capatch, your dear friend, and he's like,
And former roommate.
this place just came on the market, and I was gonna call to move into it, but then just circumstances didn't. And it was the apartment that Elliot Gould is living in The Long Goodbye. I realized
Oh my God.
it's very weird. Anyway,
the
whatever.
little walk-up place. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, that like bizarre elevator. Anyway,
The 70s are superior.
The 70s did kind of win. And so did
Hey,
this podcast.
if you like The Long Goodbye, you should go find Robert Benton's The Late Show with Lily Tomlin and Art Carney. It's
Wow.
brilliant.
I want to see that.
Okay.
It's so The Long Goodbye.
Okay, awesome. We have our homework cut out for us.
Well, you guys, thank you to both of you and to also Alice for letting us hug you, and we really appreciate
This
it.
was so fun. fun. You guys are so cute.
Oh, thank you. You
Yeah.
guys too. I'm glad you didn't go to that party, Patton.
Oh God,
Right? Me
that-
too.
she's so right. If I had gone, it would have been. Oh no, yeah, you were the rat in the cartoon. Great. Okay, good to meet you. Bye. I gotta get some lasagna.
You guys, thanks again for joining us.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Thank you both.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Have a good
Right.
night.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was sweet. Awesome. They seem great.
Yeah,
was
I love
fun.
hearing about people's stories, like what you say, like what Meredith was saying about how, getting to know people now, like sitting on your couch, your mom was always like, you have to go out, and that's so much pressure, and now you really don't.
Well, I always love stories about,
But it doesn't hurt.
yeah.
Because
yeah,
my advice, I'm a Luddite. I always think people should go out, but
yeah,
I don't
but
really
nobody
sit on the
can-
couch anyway.
You can't go out right
I
now.
know.
But I always love those kinds of stories about like the bizarre circumstances that led you to the life you're living,
Mm-hmm.
And like I remember I wrote a speech for a wedding once. The marriage did not work out, but the speech was a real banger. And it was basically talking about somebody's journey to finding each other. And I was like, essentially I said, like, if you believe in fate or you believe in random chance, both explanations for people finding each other are so infinitesimally like improbable and unlikely that they are like, so their beauty will blow you away. Even if you think there's like some kind of magic force bringing us together, or if you think like,
You had a dream about me before you called me?
that is true, I had a dream about you, but that wasn't really magical. I was like hot to trot. But you know what I did do? I had a dream about you, and then I had a dream about Whoopi Goldberg. Those were separate. And I told you I had a dream where me and Whoopi Goldberg were hanging out together, because I thought it'd be a little forward to be like, I had a dream about you.
Mm-hmm.
So Whoopi Goldberg, you are our party that I didn't attend. So thank
Love
you for
it.
the view.
Thanks, Moshe.
And I'm glad. I'm
Great
glad
doing
that.
business with you.
Well, I'm glad I sent I'm glad I told you about that dream. You know why?
Why?
'Cause I love you.
I love you too.